I hope, guys, before you come to this lecture, you really tried to achieve the challenge that I proposed in the previous lecture. It's important that you start working a bit, getting very familiar, because later on it will be very easy for you to follow along in the course and really achieve great results. Okay, so in this lecture, I'm going to show you how to achieve this challenge. If you have the home panel open in CC 2019, then you can click on New Project. And here you are, you have a new project. Doesn't matter, we need just a blank project. So let's bring in the video first. You right click in the project panel, go to Import, File, and you import, for example, mountains. You can import your own videos, it will be even much nicer. Now, if you are in CC 2019 or CC 2018, you can click on Create Composition to immediately create the composition. For the sake of all students, I will click only on Import. Now to create your new composition from the video you imported, just click on the video, drag and drop it in the timeline. Since our video will be our background, let's lock it so we don't introduce any changes. And now let's start creating the title. We start with the background. Let's go to the shape layer. If you don't have rectangle, you can long click and you can choose which tool you want to use. I will select rectangle. And let's click and drag to create a rectangle. Let's go a bit further here. You can come to the fill color over here. Click on it and you can change the color the way you would like. Just do it just like this. I hope you're choosing better colors. Then you can come to the fill word and mainly you want to adjust the opacity or the transparency here. You can make it opaque like we did before or reduce this transparency to make it a bit transparent. I will click on it and write just 80%. It will be okay. Of course, you can come to the stroke and change it the way you would like. I will leave it to 0. Let's add some text now. I will go to the text tool, long click and make sure I'm selecting horizontal type tool. Come over to the composition viewer, click and start writing. I will write my first animation. Then you go for your selection tool and you head over to the character panel. Remember, guys, if you don't have it, then it is just over here. You check under window and the character panel will open over here. If it's closed, just click on it. It will open. You can change the font, adjust the font size the way you would like. Okay, I'll just put it over here. You can make it italic or not, the way you would like. You can add some bolding. Okay, play with it a bit, but not too much. It can get very confusing. Now, let's align the title text in the middle of the composition. To do this, you can go to the Align panel. And of course, if you don't have it here, you go to Window and it's just the first one here. In the Align panel, you can center horizontally, here you are, and you can center vertically. So now, the text is centered at 100% in the middle of the composition. Let's add more text. Go for the Selection tool, click inside the Composition viewer, and write, for example, After Effects. Let's go for the Selection tool. This text might be big. You want to make it smaller, is a subtitle. Then you click on the text and just you align it the way you would like. You can come to the Align panel and align it only horizontally. You don't want to align it vertically because it comes on top of this one. So now that you have done your design, you want to start animating. You are going to animate the position. Let's select first the shape layer and press P just to get the position. And let's decide that after 2 seconds, so you click on the time indicator and drag it to 2 seconds, you want your shape layer to be just in this position. Now you can adjust it. It's your chance to adjust it if you want to. And then to initiate the animation, you click on the stopwatch just next to position. Let's go back to 1 second. It's over here. And at 1 second, you want your text to be outside the composition. You can come over and drag these figures, but also you can click on your rectangle and drag it out. Okay, if it's going up and down with you, just after you drag the bit, press on Shift and it will go outside. You just drag it to the outside. Now let's animate the text. I will select After Effects and press Ctrl or Shift and select my first animation. So you selected the 2 text there and you want to animate them. Again, at 2 seconds, we just want them over here. And then you press P to open the position and you click on the stopwatch to initiate your animation. Let's go back to the first or to 1 second and then you want to move them out, but not together at this time. Let's click out to deselect and select After Effects, click on it, press Shift and take it down. Okay, so now it's outside. Let's select my first animation, click and take it up. As simple as this. Let's drag the time indicator to the beginning and press spacebar to play. Cool, very nice. You created your first title animation. I hope you create something much nicer than I've done here, just for demonstration. If you don't want them to come all at the same time, the shape layer and the text, you know the trick. You select the one that you want to delay. So you select the layer in the timeline. That's the first one. Press Ctrl or Command on the Mac. Select the second one. Click and drag. Here you are. You are delaying them now. If you play your animation, you have created your first title animation. If you haven't achieved this animation, please go back to After Effects and try to achieve it. It will be much easier to follow along later on in the course. Thank you. I will see you in the next lecture.